Chapter 2. Sorting and Sharing. "These don't fit me anymore," Sadie said, holding up a pair of jeans. "They're still in good shape," but her mother said, "Fold them and add them to the pile." Luke and Sadie had been sorting clothes all morning. Their church was collecting donations for some refugee families that would arrive soon. Ranger wished Luke and Sadie would finish and take him outside to play. He plopped down on a pile of Luke's old sweatshirts to wait. "I'm not sure Ranger understands what's going on," Luke said, laughing. "I'm not sure I understand either," Sadie said as she added another shirt to her pile. "Why are the families coming here if their homes are so far away? And why can't they bring their own clothes?" "Because they had to leave very quickly," Mom said. "Refugees are people who are forced to leave their homes because of war or disaster or some other reason. There's often little time to plan or pack. That's why they need our help, right?" Luke shook out a pair of snow pants. "To get settled in a new home where it's safe." "Right," Dad said. "These boxes are pretty full. Let's load up the car." Ranger followed Luke and Sadie outside. While they put boxes in the trunk, Ranger sniffed around the yard. It had rained the night before, so the grass smelled of earthworms and mud. And squirrel! Ranger perked up his ears and looked around. There! It was under the picnic table, twitching its fluffy tail. Ranger bounded towards the squirrel, and it took off running. He chased it around the yard, past the bird feeder, and through the garden. Then the squirrel ran up a tree. It looked down at Ranger from a branch and twitched its tail again. Ranger barked at the squirrel like he always did after one got away. He loved chasing squirrels. That was the reason he wasn't an official search and rescue dog. Ranger had been through weeks of search and rescue training with Luke and Dad. He'd learned to track people by following scent trails in the air and on the ground. He'd practiced finding Luke lots of times. It didn't matter if Luke was hiding in thick woods or in a barrel or in a tunnel under the snow. Ranger found him every time. But search and rescue dogs weren't allowed to chase squirrels while they were working, even if the work was only practice or a test. Ranger would never run off to chase a squirrel if a person really needed his help. But on the day Ranger took his test, he knew Luke was just pretending. A squirrel had raced past and Ranger couldn't resist its fluffy, twitchy tail. "You coming back in, Ranger?" Luke called. "We need to pack up some more boxes." Ranger went inside. As he passed through the mudroom, he heard a sound coming from his dog bed. Ranger knew what it was. The old first aid kit he dug up in the family garden only made that sound when someone far away needed help. Sometimes Ranger heard that sound when a person was missing or in trouble. Sometimes he heard it when someone needed Ranger to guide them through a long, dangerous journey. He pawed through his blanket until he uncovered the old metal box. Beside it was a strange pile of treasures: a quilt square, an odd-shaped leaf, a feather, a broken metal brooch. They were gifts from the children he had met and helped. All those other times the box had made the sound. Now it was humming again. Ranger nuzzled the worn leather strap over its neck. The metal grew warm at his throat. Light began to spill from the cracks in the old box. The humming grew louder and louder. Ranger's skin pricked under his fur. The light grew brighter until he couldn't see his dog bed or the mudroom anymore. Ranger felt as if he were being squeezed through a hole in the sky. The white, hot light was so bright he had to close his eyes. Finally, the hot metal cooled and the humming stopped. Ranger opened his eyes. He was standing on a street made of stones. All up and down the block, wooden and brick buildings tipped lopsided. Some were half knocked over. Ranger sniffed the air. It smelled of bricks and dust and bread. Then the loose stones began to jump. The buildings lurched and trembled. The vibrations rattled Ranger from his paws to the tips of his ears. What was happening? What was this strange, unsteady place? "It's starting again!" someone shouted. "Outside, quickly!" a voice called from the doorway of one of the brick houses. A crowd of girls poured out. The taller girls pulled the smaller ones close and hurried them away from the rattling building. They huddled together in the street. Then one of the girls broke away from the group and raced back into the building. A second after she disappeared inside, an upstairs window shattered. Jagged shards of glass rained down on the street. A bit of roofing swung dangerously from the top floor. Bricks from the porch shook loose and tumbled to the sidewalk. The cobblestones kept trembling under Ranger's paws. This whole strange place was rattling itself to pieces. How was Ranger supposed to help? He couldn't stop the earth from shaking. At least the people in the street were out of the path of the falling glass and bricks. They were safe for now, but none of them had seemed to notice the girl who ran inside. The house rattled and groaned as if it might crumble to the earth at any second. Why hadn't she come back out where it was safer? Another upstairs window broke and smashed to the sidewalk below. Ranger bounded up the dusty porch steps and raced inside.